please. Thank y'all for being here. I am Brian Hornback. I'm your Tennessee Republican Party State Executive Committeeman for Senate District 6, Becky Massey's district. I've been involved in for over 44 years. And in the 44 years that I've been involved, my first campaign was with Congressman Duncan. I'm happy to have Congressman Duncan's support in this re-election. I'm happy to say that I've supported Becky Duncan Massey, our state senator, every single time. I'll talk about how I got started. This club is my home. I started back in 1982, 1983 when we were meeting at Helmut's Restaurant. And so I've been involved in this club for all those years. In 1990, I was 23 years old. I ran against Joe McMillan, the county commissioner, and I lost by 112 votes. There was another person in the race. Joe and I went and had lunch at Denny's on Merchants Road. I supported Joe. 2 years later, he passed away, and I supported his son, Mike, to take his seat. And 10 years later, in 2000, I ran for the Knox County School Board in the 5th District. That's southwest Knox County. That's the tip end of our district. But I was born and I was raised in Sunnyview and Carter, graduated from Carter. My wife and I got married in 1988, and we have 3 kids, 35, almost 32 and 30. And so I ran and was elected to the school board, served for 4 years. And then in 2005, I ran and was elected as your Knox County Republican Party chairman, and served in that role for 2 years. Sad to say that my first vice chair, Irene McCrary, recently passed away. We just had her funeral on Saturday. But she followed me for the 2007-2009 years. And then in 21, vacancy came up because Matt Coleman, the gentleman that had this seat, moved to Loudoun County. Myself and Randy Pace, former Republican Party chairman, competed for that seat, and I was appointed by the State Executive Committee. In August of 22, I ran for the full term. My friend Sam Maynard was one of the folks that ran for that seat, and I was successful in that race. Sam's a great friend today, and I think the one quote that Sam likes to say is he's so glad that I won. But anyway, I hate that, but anyway. So, you know, the main thing about me is I've been involved for so many years that we have to understand that as this party, when I started and it was a super minority party and it became a super majority party, you have to understand that people came to this party from the Democrat Party, just as Rob McNutt just said. And so they came to this party and they realized that the Democrat Party had left them, just like Ronald Reagan said. And so they joined our party. And so they're our party. To talk about some of the things that my opponent likes to talk about is the open primaries. You know, the State Executive Committee in 2018 said we want to close the primaries. We want party registration. When I joined the State Executive Committee in 21, I fully supported closing the primaries. The only way to close the primaries is for the legislature to close them. We asked the legislature to close them. They don't close them. I know my role. My role is to serve to serve the Tennessee Republican Party, and so I can't legislate closing the primaries. So if somebody really wants to close the primaries, they need to become a legislator and go down and be more than be part of the 76 that are Republicans, because there's 99 in the House. There's 66. There's 33 in the Senate, and there's 66 of us on SEC. I think my experience in working with on the school board, working as chairman of the party, and working with the SEC shows that I have the ability to work with a deliberative body. The guiding principles are the guiding principles that we, myself, and the SEC voted on a couple of years ago, and I agree that candidates should support the general election. They should support the Republican nominee, just like I did in 1990, when I supported Joe McMillan for election, and just like I supported Mike, because what I said when I supported Mike in 1992 was, the district elected Joe McMillan in 1990. So the person that should carry that on should be somebody that can carry on Joe's representation of the district. And so I agree with that. Also, as far as young people, when I was chairman in 2005 to 2007, we rechartered the Young Republicans. We actually hosted in the 2 years, not only did we recharter the Young Republicans in my first year as chairman, but we also hosted the 2007 state convention for the Young Republicans. So nobody supports the getting more young people involved, getting the women involved. I mean, we've got 3 ladies clubs in Knox County. I'm happy to support all of them. I just ask for another 4 years to continue to make sure that whether we agree or disagree on issues, I think everybody knows that I can sit down and talk to anybody. It's been a skill I've had since I was probably in the 4th grade. Whether I agree with you or not, I will always listen to your position. And the last thing I'll leave you with is I don't think I have to remind anybody here what my opponent did to this club a couple of years ago. And so I ask for your vote, I ask for your support, I ask you to call all your friends and all your family and ask them to vote for me. We go from north of Halls all the way down to Bluegrass. So we go from North Knoxville through East Knox County, through South Knox County, and we pick up Sequoia and go all the way down to Concord where I live. But again, I appreciate this club. I appreciate everything this club does in supporting Republican candidates. I appreciate what John Marshall and folks in this club have started at PAC and starting to raise money to give to Republicans in the general election, because I'll be honest with you, in the last 4 years, support for all candidates that are on the general election ballot just hasn't happened. And that's got to change. All right? Thank you all.